counts. I'm your host, Richard Burns. Welcome to a live session. I want to address something quickly because the professor shot a recommended video, and it's from, what's his name? He's very well known in the trucking industry, Asian Mind. The mother trucker? Yeah. So he posted a video. He posted a video about a trucker who obviously couldn't express himself in English very well at all. And he was more than likely put out of service. Hey, Jessica Lang. The way it was presented, or the narrative that the Asian mind, okay, the way the Asian mind, the narrative that he added on his own behalf about the driver, there's something that I wanted to correct. The actual driving, the physical driving, doesn't require you to know any languages. The signage, there are signs that are universal when it comes to driving. You go on any road outside of the United States and you'll encounter these signs, and you'll be able to drive in other countries without knowing their language as well. Stop signs, speed limits, and the speed limit will more than likely coincide with whether you're on the metric system or not. You'll have an idea when you use a vehicle from another country. That's something that, you know, if you're somewhat, hey, now how do I pronounce that? Little dogs? I'll say little dogs. Hi there. If you rent a vehicle in another country that uses the metric system, you'll notice once you look at the dashboard, you'll notice that you're using the metric system because it doesn't say mph, which is mile per hour. It'll say kph, kilometer per hour. So if you have some experience driving a car, and if you've done at least a little bit of homework as to where you're going to vacation or visit or whatever the case is, you should know and understand that, hey Rudy, 2:44 p.m. there you go. And that's okay, little dogs, if you don't know how to drive. But this particular this particular video was about a truck driver. Now, if you're a truck driver, at least here in the United States, if you're going for your CDL, you have to have at least, I think, a year of driving experience with a car. 1:15 a.m. Whoa, where are you? And how would I pronounce your name? Zadron? How would I pronounce it? Little dogs, what is your dad? You said my dad is. Your dad's a truck driver? Well, if you're a truck driver, you have to have at least a certain number of years, or at least a year experience driving a car. So when you get in the truck, you've already been exposed to signs along the road, along the highway, and you have a general idea or you should have an idea, or you should just be clear. If you're driving here in the United States, you're not on the metric system. Okay, it's miles per hour, not kilometers. That means you've been exposed to, hey, from the SIP. Glad you made it. If you were in, well, you're gonna learn if you've been driving a year, driving a car a year. You have an understanding of what certain signs are, and they were questioning the driver something about I'm laughing at your name. I can see you, and then you say, I see. That's cool. Something popped up there. I'm not sure what that is. Is that a different language? What is that? Okay, why? And at the trucking school, if you go to a trucking school, they're going to make sure that there are certain places that you're going to pull up into, like a weigh station. The guy was parked on the road, on the side of the road, and I think there was a no parking sign. And the fact that he parked there, I don't think had anything to do with him not understanding the sign. I'm pretty sure he understood what the sign meant. However, understanding what a sign means doesn't mean that you're going to be able to, if you don't know the language, that doesn't mean that you're going to be able to explain what the sign is in a language you don't speak. You know what the sign is. You know what a stop sign is. You're not going to go through a stop sign. It doesn't matter what language you speak. You're not going to go through a stop sign without stopping first. If you're on a right turn lane, you're going to see the arrows. Right turn only. Your dad said hi, little dogs? If I stop at a stop sign, look both ways, or look three ways because of the traffic in front of you as well. Tell them I said hello as well. I will perform that because I know what a stop sign is. However, if I'm in South Korea, I don't speak Korean. I know what a stop sign is. I'll stop at the stop sign, look in every direction I'm supposed to, and then continue forward after I make sure it's clear. But if a South Korean police officer comes and asks me, yeah, I'm gonna be stuck on stupid because I don't speak Korean. So what does that mean? Does that mean, hey, black effing fathers, thank you for popping up, man? Does that mean that I don't know how to perform what the sign is asking me to perform? No, I know how to perform what the sign is telling me what to do because it's a universal sign wherever you go. A stop sign is shaped the same way. Yield signs are usually shaped the same way. Wow, this is cool. Can I flip this thing around? I think so. Check out my man's tie. My man got the tie going on, man. Wow. Yeah. That's a Walmart driver too. Does that make him? That makes him brave. That makes him valiant. That's a big pink tie, unless that's the pink that's used to. What is that campaign against cancer? Oh, right now I'm using my phone, Sip. But you were on the live the other day where I was using my GoPro. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you the GoPro. There it is. That's the GoPro Hero 9. This cable goes to the receiving microphone. This is the receiving microphone, but this is the camera that I use. And I just discovered, guys, for those of you who are here for the first time, or didn't get a chance to catch that live, I had no idea. I've had this camera for a very long time, for a few years, and I had no idea I can go live directly from the camera. So I've been experimenting in the past couple of days. Oh, thank you. This is the Samsung S20 something. I don't know what it is. Oh, thank you, little dogs. Thank you for subbing. By the way, if I go off into a tangent related to finances, just remember, nothing I say here is financial or investment advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. I've been keeping up with that whole helping of Argentina with $40 billion. It's interesting. It is interesting. And it wasn't a bailout for the Argentinian government so much that it was more of like a helping hand, or maybe you can call it a bailout for some private investment firms, US based. Secretary of the Treasury, Besant. I don't know if you guys know this. I don't know if you guys care. But if you're Republican or MAGA, you should care. Although with MAGA, it really doesn't matter. However, this one name was one of the names that were like, if you mentioned this name, you were pretty much mentioning Satan. If you mentioned this name, and that's George Soros. George Soros, I think he has his own hedge fund, and one of the managers of his hedge fund. Now, keep in mind, the House, the Senate, the President, it's all Republican. And anytime you mention George Soros, the Republicans, forget it, would just freak out. And Besant, our Treasury Secretary, happens to be one of Soros, or a former manager of Soros. And one of the investment firms that went ahead and invested in Argentinian bonds were under the umbrella of one of Soros's. I'm laughing because it's crazy, but but I guess it's okay now, right? I guess it's okay now. You couldn't have anything to do with Soros until now. With Besant. Why would Besant even be picked for a position in this administration, knowing that he was a manager for George Soros? I tell you, a lot of times the math ain't mathing, but okay, it's all right. But going back to that video that the Asian Mai presented on his channel, you could find it. I don't know how long ago that video was made. Maybe I can check right now. Let's see. Maybes. Let's do a maybes check. And where you bees? So 3 hours ago. Can you guys hear me okay? You know what? Yeah, 3 hours ago he posted it. He posted it 3 hours ago. I don't know how old the actual video is, but he posted it 3 hours ago. Could have been that old because it's a recent focus on the current administration. Can you guys hear me okay? Put a one if you can hear me. Please. Let me know. Because I don't know. I'll tell you right now. I will tell you right now. Yeah, apparently you guys can hear me. Cool. Okay. So once again, not knowing the language doesn't impede your ability to drive. It will complicate things when you go to a shipper or a receiver and they have to give you special instructions. It could be a problem there. However, to get from point A to point B, not much. There are very few signs that you'll encounter that will confuse you if you don't speak English. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody called me right now from Indiana. Hello? Butter? Yes, how can I help you?
Hey, this is Zach.
Hi, Zach.
I talked to Min. He said that you're delivering around Georgia right now. I have the load going from Calhoun tomorrow morning.
Right.
Delivering up to Buffalo, New York. Okay. Yeah, so obviously, I talked to Min. You are taking the horses, correct?
Yes, I'm taking the load.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, I told the lady that picking up point that you're planning on being there at like 8 o'clock, correct?
Yes, I'll be there at 8 a.m.
Okay, perfect. The only other thing, I marked obviously empty and whatnot, and I sent the tracking link. Did you get the MySmart carrier, the tracking link?
What type of tracking do you have?
Well, what kind of phone do you have?
I have a Android.
Android, okay, because I have an iPhone, so the iPhone is through to obviously the App Store, but I think on Android it's called MySpot Carrier. I'll send it. It should have came with it, but I'm sending you the link now.
Okay.
I believe on Android, don't you guys use like a Google App Store, I believe?
A what?
Is it like a Google App Store?
Yeah. Well, no, not necessarily. It's a Samsung, but
well, really, it should whichever one of the platforms you use for the apps, it's MySpot Carrier. I'll even text it to you.
Okay.
Text it to your phone here. And then, yeah, all you got to do is just get on there, download it, and it should start tracking immediately. With it being obviously 4 o'clock, I'll check it in the morning. It should be showing you on the site. I'm getting here.
okay, I just received it. Well, I received the text, but I don't see anything there that links me to an app or to a tracker. Hold on, let me open it up. Okay, my apologies. There it is. Hold on, don't hang up on me yet. My Spot Carrier, right?
Yep, that's it.
Splendid. It looks like it's downloading right now. Is there any kind of code I'm gonna need to access the information on the app?
You should not. It's linked straight from like our system to this load that you're on, so you shouldn't need any technical link. I can't text you that number that you're technically assigned to if you don't need to do that. How about that? So on this, just in case you need a reference number for anything, I'm bringing as well. Something's not in tonight. You can change this.
Okay. Well, it's uploading. It's taking a while, so.
I don't tell people anything is easy because tech isn't really my thing.
Yeah, if I have any complications, can I call you back at this number?
Oh yeah. I'll actually, just in case you do need anything, I'm just hopping back into these text meetings. I literally have a strobe light on the phone, so I won't miss you if you're calling me in the morning.
Okay. Excellent.
5303, yes, 352 number, that's my cell phone, so you can call that anytime.
Perfect. Any extension? Did you just text the information?
Yeah, and then I texted you my cell phone because you should have it. No extension on the cell. That go come straight.
Okay, that's your cell. Okay, it'll go direct.
Yep.
That's splendid.
Yeah, and then since I know you're on track and I know when you're empty, whatnot, I'm not gonna have anyone bother you because it's an open window tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna confirm arrival and stop. And I'll mark it for 8:30. That way I know no one bothers you before I get in, and then I'll probably just see you sitting there in the morning getting loaded.
That'll be awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So I won't bother you unless I need to. I'll just do your job, and as long as I see you marked and moving and all that good stuff, I'll let you just do your job.
Well, that's excellent. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you just have I didn't harass him unless I should talk to him about something. So.
Amazing.
Yeah, we're all set. Yeah, we're all set. Leo, you have a good night. I'll just look at the tracks for the morning.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. You as well. Bye-bye now.
Appreciate it. Bye.
Guys, you got to hear an interaction between myself and a broker. If you were here when he called, he wanted to make sure that I downloaded an app in order to track the load that I'm picking up tomorrow morning. So he knows where the load is at all times, or whenever he wanted to figure out where the load was, all they have to do is go into their system and see where the load is. I imagine that's an added expense for the broker. However, because of the amount of thievery that there is with loads, and these loads can be very expensive, they could be in the millions, some of them. Definitely not something that you want to have go missing. The insurance company definitely doesn't want to hear about some load that went missing. And not too long ago, a load did get stolen from the company I work for. Oh, here comes my man right now with the pink. Check it out. The pink tie. Check out my man with the pink tie. There he is. Look at him. Well, can't see the pink tie now because he's got his back to us, but yeah. He's a Walmart driver. Yeah, cheap insurance for the load, right, Elevated? Hey! Hook it up. Oh, you just got off work? Nice. Picking up the children's. There's a judge in Texas. She don't like it when people call their children kids. She doesn't like that. She corrects you immediately. Somebody comes up and says, "Yeah, I was with my kids." No, what is it? Goats are kids, or something to that effect. Yeah, she tells no children. They are your children's. Right. No, you can call them kids here, Homestead. I'm just letting you know there's a judge out there in your parts. Yeah, she doesn't like that. She corrects you in a heartbeat. Yeah. My man, Walmart driver with the pink tie. He's on his way out. There he goes. He's leaving us. Everybody wave goodbye to the Walmart driver with the pink tie. Bye, Walmart driver. Hey, Weston and Mackenzie. How are you? Thanks for coming by. Thanks for joining the live. So going back to... See, I get myself in trouble. There's a driver over there. Some drivers like to put up their little flags, you know, representing where they're from. This one happens to have a Puerto Rican flag. And it never fails. Well, it does fail sometimes. But I'll see that flag and I'll ask him if he's from Nigeria or something. Some of them get upset. Yeah, I'm a child. Old as I am, I'm still a child. Well, I haven't gotten beat up for that yet, so. Been beat up for other silly stuff, but not for that, not yet. So if you're driving, okay. Homestead, you said that you left work and you drove over to pick up the kids at school. And I know that elevated drives also. Do you need... Okay, so you see the signs on the road, don't you? And you know what to do? They're not the signs aren't spelled out. Right? The signs aren't spelled out. When there's a speed limit, it's not spelled out in English. 65 or 70 miles per hour. No, it's a number. It's a number with an MPH on it. Right? Now a stop sign, yeah, it's in English. It says stop. But you know it's a stop sign without even having to read it, because it's an octagon shape and it's red. A yield is yellow. It's a triangle. There are a lot of signs out there that are universal, and that you don't need to... They could change the letters on those signs and you're still going to do what you're supposed to do. They could change the language on those signs and you're still going to do what you're supposed to do, because now, like I was saying, because I don't agree with what Asian Mai was saying on his video regarding an interaction between, I don't know if it was a DOT officer or state police, and they came up on this truck that was parked on the side of the road. And you're not supposed to be parking on the side of the road. We all know that. The thing is that sometimes we run out of hours, and some drivers don't know what to do when that happens. Their company may not allow a driver to use personal conveyance. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So these are my hours of service, right? Now, I'll hit this arrow up here. What the heck? I hit the wrong arrow. I'll hit this arrow here. See a change? Now it's giving me the option to pick whether I'm driving, whether I'm on duty, off duty. Sleeper berth is what it's currently on. Off duty, sleeper berth. On duty, driving. PC. PC is personal conveyance. I could tap on that, and then I'll have options as to what... See, just below it says, right here, it says, I know it's backwards, but it says add remark. So I got to pick a remark. So if I tap on that, I've got all these reasons to choose from. Okay, when I go on personal conveyance, all these reasons to choose from. So with personal conveyance, you can drive off duty so that it doesn't count against your time. But it better be for a good reason, because when the DOT checks, and it doesn't have to be, they don't have to check it right there on the spot. If they're doing an audit, they can go back 2 years if they want to. And if they see that personal conveyance, they're going to want to know why you're using personal conveyance. You'd be in violation if you use personal conveyance to make it to your delivery for 2 or 3 miles because your hours ran out 2 or 3 miles from your destination, and they see that you went on personal conveyance just to get to your destination. They don't go for that. That's a violation. You're going to get hit. So there are some drivers that perhaps the driver just came up and asked me if I was leaving my spot. So right about now, see, this is the thing. This might be the reason why that driver wound up on the side of the road. Let me show you. Now this guy's pulling out. You guys saw Walmart pull out. This guy's pulling out right now. Okay. And there are a few spots available, but those spots that you see here, those are all reserved parking spots. Okay, 312 Rudy. Those are reserved parking spots. They're available, however, you either have to go inside. Let me show you where inside is. Look at this dude. The same dude that pulled out is backing up because he's trying to back up into a spot on the side that I'm on. So that he doesn't have to pay for the reserve, because those reserved spots you have to pay. It might be $18 here, it might be $20 here, but drivers are trying not to pay to park because they're and honestly in this particular, okay, so there it is. I'm at a Pilot, and I don't know if you can see the building, but that's where you have to walk into the building and go to the counter and pay for the reserved parking spot. Now, depending on what hour you get here, there might be reserved parking spots available, or empty. Let me say empty, not available. They're empty, but they're not available because somebody went on the app. Let me see if I can show you an app. So for Pilot, this is the app for Pilot. Okay? So you go on the app. You go on the Pilot app. You could also do the same for Loves. You can go on the Loves app. Yeah, and you have to make a reservation. Let me see if I got my no, it's not my password. Good thing I keep my password somewhere safe, because if not, I would be a mess. Okay, so here we go. Let's try again. Come on, y'all. Let's try again. So you can see what the app looks like. What? Don't recognize that either. What the fruit flavor's going on here, y'all? I don't know what's going on. It should have. Should have came through. Let me continue as guest. Maybe it'll allow me to go in. Well, yeah, I got limited features because I went in as a guest. Whoa. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I can't use the Loves app to show you because Loves doesn't have reserved parking, but this place does. In any event, you go on the app. If I ever find my actual password, you go on the app and you can reserve a parking spot ahead of time before you reach the destination. You're going to see, they're going to give you a list of the different pilot truck stops that you're going to be encountering on your path. And you can pick one of them and select to reserve a parking spot. 316, Rudy. When you arrive, is it worth it? Well, for that driver on that video that Asian Mai made, yeah, it's well worth it. On previous recorded videos, I've shown where some drivers get creative at these places because you can't park on the shoulder, and if you're running out of time, you better find a place to park and quickly. And the cops don't want to hear it. The cops don't want to hear it. The troopers, really. The troopers or DOT, they don't want to hear it. You ran out of time and this is the only place you can go? Sorry, buddy, but that's poor trip planning. You're getting a ticket. And Virginia and Pennsylvania don't just give you a ticket. They put points on your license. Points on your license as a truck driver is absolutely horrible. When I'm driving a car, it doesn't matter. My son asked me the other day, why do I drive so slow? Because his mother drives fast. I drive within the speed limit. His mom, she takes off. She acts like she's driving a rocket. My daughter came out like her mom. Okay? Yeah, my wife is a thrill seeker, man. She goes on those roller coaster rides. She jumps off planes. She rides on top of planes. So when she drives, she's out. So my son asked me why I drive so slow, but I cannot get pulled over, not even in a car. There was a time when if you got a ticket while driving a car, that was separate from getting a ticket from driving a truck. But I forget what year it was. They switched that up. Now if you get a ticket in a car or a truck, it's the same thing. So getting points on your license, look, when you get points on your license, it makes it harder for you to leave one company to go to another, because the insurance companies, they don't like that. So if another carrier wants to hire you and you've got points, they may not accept you. Oh, okay. 320? All right. What time you see, man? Okay, yes, 320. All right, hook it up. Thanks for coming up. And so, getting points on your license is not a good thing. It makes it more difficult for you to go from one company to another, because some companies may offer a better deal, uh, better working conditions, better pay. But if you got points on your license, now they won't accept you. And those points stay on there for years. So you don't want to do that. If you aspire to become a truck driver, or you've recently become a truck driver, preserve your license at all costs. At all costs. So don't forget, you can do exactly what the signs instruct you to do or expect you to do, but you may not be able to vocalize in another language what it is. Hey, Jessica, welcome back. You may not be able to vocalize in a different language what it is that you're doing because of what the sign says, and you may not be able to say what the sign says in another language. You know what the sign means, and you do what the sign is requesting you to do, but again, you may not be able to articulate that in a different language. So does that make you dangerous as a driver? No. The fact that you don't know a particular language does not make you a dangerous driver. It doesn't make you a dangerous driver. Driving is a physical act. You know how to keep a braking distance? Do you know when to brake? Now, this one driver had that incident, this Cuban driver had that incident in Colorado. His brakes failed because he was going down a mountain, and he failed to go on the escape ramps. Was it because he didn't understand that those were escape ramps? Or was it that he panicked? And in his panic state, he didn't think to go off the road, because he didn't even bother to go on the shoulder. Do we know? No. An English-speaking driver could have had the same problem that Cuban driver experienced. An English-speaking driver could have had the same problem. An inexperienced English-speaking driver could have the same problem. So it wasn't the language. You can't say that with certainty, that it was because of the language. No. We're talking about a person that's been driving with 2 years of experience, driving on a relatively flat terrain for 2 years, has never been trained in mountainous terrain. There was a driver at one of the companies that I worked for, a U.S. citizen, born and raised, only spoke English, almost lost her life in Vermont in mountainous terrain. It wasn't the language. It had nothing to do with the language. Had nothing to do with the language. There are some things that if you're going to attempt to drive a truck, there are some things that you need to be trained in. Backing up, driving on mountainous terrains, loading and unloading. Those are just things that you have to be trained in. You can have a driver that has 10 years experience. All they've done was drive long distances. Maybe all they did was what we call drop and hook. You go to a facility, you hook up to a trailer, you leave, take it to another facility, drop the landing gear, detach from that trailer, go hook up to another one, never having to load a trailer. You go to a different company, and some of the stops on this company require that you load the trailer yourself. Do you understand how to load a trailer? Do you understand the importance of weight distribution? Because if you don't understand the importance of weight distribution, you could load that thing up in such a way that you could put too much weight on one side. And if you encounter a sharp left, a sharp right turn, you could wind up rolling over, damaging hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of product, causing the insurance company to drop the trucking company that you work for, making it extremely difficult for the company to find another insurer to cover them, just because you are inexperienced at loading a trailer. Those are things that you probably need to be trained in. I've been to warehouses where they have brand new employees, and once I pull away from the door, I had to go back into the door and tell whoever's supervising or whoever's experienced there that they have to reload the trailer. You step outside, you pull away from the door, and when you go back to your trailer to close the door, you look inside the trailer and you see these tall, heavy pallets. You can tell they're heavy because it might be machinery, it might be something that, you know, you can sense that it's heavy. And you can look at the paperwork and see that the load weighs 42,000 pounds. And you see what the bill of lading may tell you what it is you're loaded with when you look inside the trailer. You say, whoa. You got 3 pallets on one side, 11 pallets on the other side, and it's all the same thing, and it weighs 42,000 pounds? Oh, that's not a good weight distribution. Obviously, the side that has 11 pallets of the same product is much heavier than the side that has 3. So it wasn't loaded properly. But if you've never been trained, you might just shut the doors and take off. What about the weight, the actual weight, and knowing where you're going and whether or not you should check the weather? For example, if you've got an Amazon loads tend to be very light. Very light. And if you have a very light load, the last thing you want to do is to go across I-80 in Wyoming or Nebraska, because those are areas that have high winds, very high winds, high enough to blow you on your side. But that, you know, again, if you're never trained, anyway, I'll be going live with the GoPro again. I gotta check something out. I liked it. So folks, listen. I did this live to respond to that video that I saw from Asian Nine, thanks to the professor. Thank you, Professor, for highlighting that video. I understand that these truck drivers now, they're responding emotionally, and they're just running with this narrative, but it's not, none of this stuff, it's all distraction really, because it's not helping the rates. We truckers are still in a recession. There's a trucking recession, it's been on for 4 years, and it's not improving. All this stuff about English speaking and all this other stuff that's not helping us with our rates, it's nothing more than a distraction. There are plenty, the proportion of non-speaking truckers, non-English speaking truckers that are getting into accidents is not higher than English speaking truckers that are getting into accidents. Language doesn't make a difference, and I know they try to claim that reading signs, most of the signs on the highway are universal. So no. It doesn't warrant the type of attention that it's getting, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway. Oh, sip! When will what end? Exactly. Are you referring to the recession in the trucking industry? Is that what you're referring to? Because the truckers are out here waiting for that recession to end. They've been waiting. Okay, so it actually started during the Carter administration. The Carter administration deregulated the trucking industry, and it was downhill since then. However, during COVID, because warehouses wanted to stock up as quickly as possible, the demand for truckers, or for trucking, or the pressure that was on logistics to get products to the warehouses was so high So what happened during the pandemic, a lot of warehouses went had very low inventory, and suddenly when things corrected, there was a huge need to have that inventory filled, and the rates had gone up to amounts that were above what was normally paid. And you had truck drivers showing off the amount of money that they were making, which drew the attention of enough people to want to become truck drivers at the time. They purchased